Welcome all gathering here. This is Felicita, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, St. Mary's College, Thuthukudi. I chosen the topic Osi Reference Model. In computer network, Osi Reference Model is a very popular model. It is an imaginary model. It is having 7 different layers. Each and every layer is performing different functions. Each layer is having different protocols. We know what is protocol. The protocol is set of rules and regulations to transfer data from one system to another system. The network should follow the protocol's rules. So this is, we are going to elaborately see all those things in each and every layer. Osi Reference Model, it is a conceptual framework that divides network communication into 7 layers. It helps to explain how data moves between different computer systems. So we have 7 different layers. To transfer data or messages from the system, we should understand how the data is in each and every layer, because the data is taking different format in each layer. This data will be regulated by the protocols present in that particular layer. So the layers: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, application layer. In the physical layer, the data is in the form of bits. So under the physical layer, it is going to transfer either via wired medium or wireless medium. The wired medium, coaxial cable, copper wire, twisted pair wire, fiber optic. The wireless mediums are through the air only it is going to pass. So various propagation method we use. Using the antennas, we pass the data in the wireless medium. And the data link layer. So the data link layer, it is having the physical addressing. Here it is having 2 types of addressing, LLC and MAC. And the network layer, it is used to determine the path. It helps to find out the shortest path in the network layer. Transport layer, very reliable data transfer done with the help of this transport layer only. Session layer, connection establishment, connection termination, all are possible with the help of the session layer only. Presentation layer, the presentation layer, it performs encryption and decryption. Application layer, user interface is possible with the help of the application layer only. Here it is having various applications. So today we are conveying messages using various applications. For example, WhatsApp, email, and then we are viewing the web pages. So this separation is done in this application layer. So the data here called as messages. Okay, next we see the diagram representation. So this is how each and every layer situated in this model. The lower layer always physical layer, the upper layer always application layer. In the sender side, that message which is going to comes down from the application layer to presentation layer, and then presentation to session, and then session to transport, transport to data link, network to data link, and data link to physical. In the receiver side, it is all are going to happen opposite. So physical to data link, and then data link to network, network to transport, transport to session, session to presentation, presentation to application. So the data it pass in this way only. Okay, so next we see how the physical layers works. The physical layer is the lowest layer of OSI model. It deals with the physical transmission of raw bits over a communication medium such as cables, radio waves, and fiber optics. First point, defines the physical media and transmission methods. Physical layer specifies the type of medium used to transmit data. As I said here, copper wire, fiber optics, wireless medium used. It determines how signals physically travel across the medium. Second point, converts bits into signals. Data is represented as zeros and ones, but cannot travel in this form. The physical layer converts these bits into electrical, optical, or radio signals for transmission. Third point, handles data encoding and modulation. Encoding converts data into a format suitable for the medium. Modulation alters wave properties such as frequency, amplitude to represent data bits. Next we see data link layer. The data link layer ensures error-free and reliable communication between devices on the same network segment. It formats data into frames and handles physical addressing. The physical addressing is nothing but MAC address. The MAC address is used to find out the local area network. Using this MAC address, we can transfer data without the help of the internet. So without we are connecting the internet, in that time we can transfer the data from one system to another system. So the data link layer divided into two sublayers, LLC and MAC. MAC, media access control, LLC, logical link control. This division makes communication more structured and reliable. Next we see the functions of data link layer. Performs framing of data. The data link layer takes raw bits from the physical layer and organizes them into structured units called frames. Framing helps the receiver understand the start and end of each packet. Handles physical addressing. Devices are identified using MAC addresses, which are unique hardware identifier. The data link layer uses these addresses to deliver frames within the same local network. Provides error detection. Techniques like cyclic redundancy check help detect errors that may occur during transmission. If corrupt data is found, the frame is discarded to prevent wrong information from spreading. Then we see network layer. The network layer is responsible for determining the best path for data to travel and handling logical addressing, that is IP addresses. This layer makes routing, path selection, and packet forwarding possible. Provides logical addressing. The network layer assigns IP addresses to identify devices uniquely across networks. These addresses help routers determine where packets should be delivered globally. Performs routing. It decides the best route for data to travel from sender to receiver. Routers use algorithms like OSPF, RIP, and PGP to find the most efficient path. Handles packet forwarding. Once the route is decided, packets are forwarded from one router to another until they reach their destination. This ensures that data moves correctly through the interconnected networks. Next we see transport layer. The transport layer ensures end-to-end communication, error-free delivery, proper sequencing, and flow control between devices. It is one of the most important layers for exam preparation. ensures end-to-end communication between devices. The transport layer provides a direct logical communication pathway between the sender and receiver, handles segmentation and reassembly of data. Large messages are broken into smaller units called segments before transmission. At the receiver end, these segments are rearranged and combined back into the original message. Provides error detection and error recovery. It checks problems such as data corruption during transmission. If errors are found, the layer requests retransmission to ensure accurate delivery. Next we see session layer. The session layer is responsible for starting, managing, ending communication sessions between two devices or applications. A session means a temporary logical connection established for exchanging data. Establishes communication sessions. The session layer initiates the communication link between two devices or applications. It sets the rules for how communication will start and ensure both sides are ready to exchange data. Maintains and manages session state. It keeps track of what is happening during the communication session. This includes remembering how much data has been sent and where the communication path is interrupted. Performs session authentication. Before starting a session, the session layer verifies the identity of both parties. This prevents unauthorized devices or users from joining the communication. Next we see presentation layer. The presentation layer is often called the translator layer because it prepares data so that the application layer can use it. It deals with formatting, encoding, encryption, and compression of data. Translation between application and networks. Different devices use different data formats internally. The presentation layer converts data into a standard format so both the sender and receiver understand it. It acting as a translator between systems. Data formatting and syntax handling. It ensures data follows proper structure, syntax, and rules before it is sent. Proper formatting prevents misinterpretation of data on the receiving end. Encryption and decryption of data. This layer is responsible for converting plain text into ciphertext to secure data during transmission. At the receiver side, it decrypts the data back into readable form, ensuring confidentiality. Next we see application layer. Application layer gives a communication interface or application programming interface to software applications. This interface allows application to use the network without needing to understand lower level networking process. If something goes wrong at the application level, like a web page not loading, this layer generates meaningful error messages. Examples include HTTP 404 or connection timed out. So these all are possible with the help of the application layer only. Provides network services to applications. This layer directly interacts with user-level software such as browsers, email clients, and communication apps. It ensures that applications have the necessary services to send and receive data over a network without dealing with low-level complexities. Supports protocols like Hypertext Transfer Protocol, File Transfer Protocol, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, Domain Name System. These protocol defines rules for communication between applications. For example, HTTP handles web page loading, FTP manages file transfers, SMTP handles email sending, and DNS converts domain names to IP addresses. Enables email, file transfer, and web browsing. Common internet services such as sending emails, loading websites, or transferring files rely entirely on the application layer protocols. Without this layer, user interfacing online activities would not be possible. We see some short points for revision. So physical layer, the signals is in the form of zeros and ones. Under the physical layer, it is going to transfer via the medium. And the data link layer, the data is represented in the form of framing. It is having the MAC address. In the network layer, it provides the IP addresses, and the routing is possible with the help of the connecting devices like router. And transport layer, reliability and the port number, the connection reliability and the port number is given in the transport layer. Session layer, session control, session establishment, session management and session termination. Presentation layer, encryption, decryption and compression. It is possible in the presentation layer. And application layer, all the user application, it can interface with the help of the application layer only. I conclude the topic. Osi reference model is a reference model only. A reference model here, it is an imaginary model. It is not practically used in any system. TCP/IP protocol suite only used by the network systems. To clearly explain the functions of each layer, the session and the presentation layer are separated from the application layer in the TCP/IP architecture. Actually, in the TCP/IP architecture, it is having only 5 layers. The session layer and the presentation layer, which is combined with the application layer in the TCP/IP protocol suite. To know more clearly about the session and the presentation layer, here in the Osi imaginary model, we splitted these 2 layers from the application layer, and we placed some functionalities in the Osi model. So this is what the conclusion about the topic, and we see some MCQ questions for the revision. Which layer is responsible for routing? Transport layer, network layer, data link layer, session layer. The answer, network layer. Which layer performs error detection using cyclic redundancy code? Application, data link, network, physical. Data link layer. TCP works at which Osi layer? Session layer, transport layer, network layer, physical layer. Transport layer. So the reference books and website details I given here, and I attached the feedback form. So about your opinion of the class and the rating about the class, everything given in the feedback form. And to assess you, I given more MCQ questions in the Google Forms, so you may take the test. So thank you all for your patience listening. Hope everyone understands the topic very well. Thank you so much.